Greetings everybody, my name is Tommy the Game Master and welcome to my channel. Well, today I'm going to be looking at another 3DS port that made its way to Steam. I'm going to be looking at Code of Princess. What the heck is she wearing? You know, when you have this much fan service in a game, you've got to have a little fun and poke fun of it. So instead of calling this game by its real title, every time I mention the title of this game, I'm going to think up of a new title that this game could have been called and have a little fun with it because, well, the situation just demands it. The story in Code of Victoria's secret models is that human and monsters used to live in peace until one day the kingdom of Deluxe got attacked by a neighboring kingdom who used monsters as their mean to attack. Before the kingdom was overthrown, though, the king told Princess Solange to retrieve the sword Deluxe Caliber, and when she does, it causes the whole building to explode. However, it causes her to meet a thief named Ali. Together, the two, along with a few other misfits they meet along the way, decide to go on a journey to figure out what's going on. Now, only half the people in the story are actually playable. There are several characters that tag along that you can never play as, at least in the main story mode. This is a little bit disappointing. Anyways, well, Coda Double D's is known to be a Guardian Heroes knockoff. The story is linear, while in Guardian Heroes there was a choose your own path and story, and that is kind of missed here. The good news is that this game, just like its main protagonist's clothing selection, never takes itself too seriously. There are jokes everywhere, from whenever someone remarks Solange isn't wearing much to have her saying it's a fashionable dress or it's formal wear. Yeah, next time a girlfriend tells me she's looking to find a good formal dress, I'll head to the lingerie shop immediately. The gameplay in Code of Kate Upton here should be familiar if you ever played an old Sega game called Guardian Heroes, because at the core it's the same game with a few more light RPG elements sprinkled on top of it. It's a brawler, and the idea is to beat up enemies and monsters enough to finish an area and progress the story along. It's not quite like an old arcade brawler, as the areas aren't huge by any means, and rarely do you have to beat up a bunch of enemies just to progress to the next screen, but rather to progress to the next story segment, as stages are really short, taking only a few minutes at most to beat each one. Next to beating people up with combos, your characters also have special magic attacks, plus a burst option which doubles their stats but drains their magic very fast. And like I said, Guardian Heroes, the battles happen on battlefields with 2 or 3 planes that can be jumped to easily if you get crowded, and the fact that you have large enemies on screen and they take a lot of hits to go down means you will get crowded. So that's very useful. Each character for the most part does feel different, with Solange there being the heaviest character and Ali being the fastest and so on. As for the RPG elements, they're forgettable. You can equip stuff that has some nice effects, but leveling up seems to do little more than just raise your stats. You really don't feel more powerful after raising your stats, and it doesn't really feel like it's needed in this game. As for extra modes, you have plenty of them. You have a free play mode, and you also have extra missions where you can play as every character in the game. And I do mean every character. Your 4 main leads, those side characters you run to, but also non-playable characters like monsters and even villagers are selectable and upgradable in these extra missions. It's a nice piece of distraction once you get past the main story, and definitely something extra to do. Graphically, Code of Extreme Fan Service suffers from the same problems a lot of 3DS ports on Steam suffer from. Low resolution textures making everything look blocky, especially if you play in full screen mode. It's a shame because just like Shantae and Azure Striker Gunvolt, there was a lot of work done in the drawing of these sprites. The animation is good, and the characters and the way they are drawn are quite charming. It's just too bad that we have all these blocks on the screen really wreaking havoc on the way it looks. So much hard work only to appear like a blocking mess, and it's just a real shame. The music in this game is pretty good, but unfortunately Code of Dirty Pillows on Steam only has a Japanese audio track, no English dub. It doesn't help get across some of the humor in this game when the characters only speak Japanese. The 3DS version seems to have a pretty competent English dub, and it didn't appear on Steam for some reason. It just seems, well, kind of naked without the English dialogue.
でいいのか。みんなの思いをこぶ UMA
Code of Tits is $15 on Steam, and I think that's a little bit too high for it. But if you can wait for it, if it's on sale for less than $10, it's definitely worth checking out. And the reason why I'm saying knock off $5 is that this game does not have an English dub track, and just the blocky graphics really did hamper some of my enjoyment of it. But if you're a fan of classic beat-em-up games, especially Guardian Heroes, then you definitely want to check out Code of Princess. Anyways, I want to thank you for watching this review of mine. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below. And if you want, click on my face to subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you as a member of my community. This is Tommy the Game Master signing out.